Okay, hey everybody. I am back with my channel and I am so glad to see that you all are here today. Um, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that subscribe button and um, but mostly I want you to hear the information that I have to share because do you know that diabetes is running rampant in the US? It is destroying lives. It is taking a toll on children, and it is doing some irreparable damage. And it is time for us to beat diabetes, kick diabetes butt, because it is possible. Um, One of the things about diabetes is that so many people have diabetes and they don't even know it. It's like 50% of the US population has diabetes or pre-diabetes. And some people think, oh, I just have pre-diabetes. But do you realize that pre-diabetes is already beginning to destroy your organs? You don't have to have full-blown diabetes for your organs to start to begin to deteriorate. Pre-diabetes can do that as well. So you want to get that nipped in the bud, like they say. You want to work on that immediately. It starts with lifestyle changes. And especially what is on the end of our fork, what we put in our mouth, the food that we eat. It can be the best form of medicine or the most devastating form of poison. So you decide what you put in your mouth because you actually are what you eat. And I know I have this diagram I put on Facebook all the time about one person is full of greens and fruits and vegetables and they're slim and trim and looking good. And then the other person is huge and they're full of pizza and burgers and fries and shakes. And we have to be so mindful of what we put into our mouth, what we put into our body, because it is either feeding disease or fighting it. So you decide. The diabetes epidemic is not going anywhere until we change the way we eat. If we look at food as medicine, as nourishment to our bodies, every cell is getting nourished. Every time you put that fork to your mouth, you're doing some great thing for your cells, your organs. Your cells are just so excited and so happy when they get the nourishment that they need. When we eat junk food and all these calories without any nourishment that are not nutrient dense and full of nutrition, we're going to stay hungry. Sugar makes you continue to have cravings. The more sugar you eat, the more hungry you are, the more food you want. So that makes you have cravings. And our children, all these sugary drinks, every time you look around, they have all these things that are geared, they are pulling our children in, drawing our children in. The food industry knows exactly what they're doing because they're creating food that keeps you hungry, that keeps you wanting more of that same kind of food. And those artificial sweeteners, they're triple, quadruple times as sweet as regular sugar. And so it makes you want more. So that's what the problem is. And so many people walking around, they don't even know they have diabetes. They have no symptoms because diabetes, hypertension, the silent killers. Because you may not have any symptoms. You may not know anything is going on in your body different. So I just want you to look at that. I have information about that, things that I can share with you. I'll be sharing a lot of tips on diabetes and how to fight it with food, use food as medicine. Food is medicine. And I'm going to tell you about me because recently I moved. I had responsibility of taking care of a teenage grandson, a mom whose health failed, who's bedridden, so I've been taking care of her. And it's been a lot of stress on me. And, moving is stressful anyway, but then you got all these other things you got to think about um, regarding your family dynamic. So I was just like, okay, um, eating junk. And I normally try to eat pretty healthy, but I was eating junk. I was eating chips. I was eating M&Ms. I was drinking. Well, I don't really drink soda, but my mom loves ginger ale, so I was kind of like dipping into her ginger ale, or drinking coffee and putting cream and sugar because I'm trying to stay awake to get boxes unpacked and get all this stuff done. And then I just started feeling so sluggish. I felt so tired. I was like, oh God. And so I was just like, I gotta get some spinach. I was talking to my daughter. I was like, oh, I gotta get me some spinach. And she was just like, Mom, I can't believe you screaming about here about you want some spinach. But I did. I wanted spinach so bad. It was just like I had to have spinach. I just felt like I wanted some greens so bad. And then our refrigerator went out. So I was like, oh, so I went and bought a little mini refrigerator. I was like, I gotta have something until I find the refrigerator that I really want. So, so I just went and got some frozen greens and put that in there, made me a smoothie, and I just felt like, oh my God, I'm just giving my body so much good nutrition and nourishment. I just felt like I was really telling my body. I mean, like my body was saying thank you. Because do you realize when we eat processed foods, foods that come out of a box, foods that come out of a can, foods that are man-made, manufactured in a factory and all that, not the food that God gave us that comes out of the earth, that has sunshine, that has nourishment, that has life giving food and nourishment for our bodies. When we eat that kind of food, our body is like, yes, oh, I love this. I'm so excited. Our cells are saying, oh, because when we eat foods like that, it calms us down. It calms our body down. When we eat those live, living foods, those beautiful greens, those beautiful purple cabbages, those beautiful cauliflower, and then those red, yellow, orange, green peppers, and all those beautiful things, those grapes, those apples, that watermelon, all the colors. God created that. God created those colors. And so when we eat like that, our body is filled with nutrition. Our body is so grateful, and you loving your body and it's loving you back. You loving your heart and it's loving you back. And so we have to treat our body as a temple. God gave us this temple. And He expects us to take care of the temple. Just think if you were taking care of a physical temple and you knew the Lord was coming in there to dwell. How would you take care of that temple? Okay, so let's think about that. When it comes to the subject of diabetes, cancer, heart disease, hypertension, everything boils down to what is on the end of your fork, the food that you're putting in your mouth. The food that God created is the best food. It has life-giving enzymes. It has life in it. You can't get life from dead food. You can't put something dead in your body and it gives you life. Just think about that. When we eat meat, we have to do so much to that meat to make it taste good. But you go get an apple off the tree, what you got to do to it? bite. That's all you got to do to it. You don't have to add nothing to it. You don't have to flavor it up. You don't have to do anything. You just got to bite it, baby. So just think about that when you're eating your food, because we want foods that have life in them, foods that are alive. When you eat it, you know that it has life in it, that it has enzymes and nutrients and all these things, minerals and vitamins and all these things that we want to help our body thrive, because health begins at the cells, at the cellular level. It begins each cell. And that's why it's important to eat the rainbow, because every color has a different nutrient for our body. And it's like synergy taking place when we eat all those colors. Woo-wee, baby. Everything is just going around in there, and it's just like, oh, I'm helping your heart. Oh, I'm helping the kidney. Oh, this is helping the lungs. This is helping the liver. This is helping that's why it's so important for your plate to have color. If you look down at your plate and all your food look the same color, that is not a healthy plate. That is not a healthy plate. But when you see vibrant colors on your plate, you're giving your body a plate full of life. And that's the way we live. That's the way we fight disease. That's the way we fight diabetes, cancer, hypertension. So you have to do that. Diabetes is an epidemic, but we can fight it, we can beat it, and it does not have to take any more life out of us when we put the foods in us that give us life. Okay? So stay tuned every week. If you subscribe, you'll see a new video every week. And I will be giving you tips and nuggets and letting you know about things that you can do to fight diabetes, that you can do to bring life and nourishment to every cell in your body, so that your body can say,